Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today is the first day where you could feel fall actually creeping into the air. There's a nice little breeze, beautiful sunny day, sunny Sunday. So I'm really excited to get working on my arching fig. It was an experiment. It looked pretty cool for a while, but after doing further research, it's going to end up dying, and I want it to last 30, 40, 50 years, not just the three that I've had. So it might look gnarly after this hard pruning, but that's what we're going to get into on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, so spinning around. Hopefully you could see that. So you see what I was doing is coming out of this gnarly looking trunk. I have a bunch of branches, and I would arch them off, prune the tips, and stick them into the soil. And then more back budding would pop up, and you'd see you get these little branches coming off of those. For a while, it looked great. And then I started running out of room in the pot, so I stopped doing any new arching in there. And I had a really concerned bonsai broski who said, you know what? I know in full-size fig trees, some people have done this before, but this technique will only allow the tree to live 8 to 10 years. And so after further research, I believe he was correct. So today, we got to pick which branches we're going to keep, if any, and maybe clean up this gnarly looking trunk. It's kind of looking white and stuff, so I'm thinking that's a bunch of residue from the different water. You see all the patina on the pot, and then this nasty green stuff from sitting in a drip tray. So we'll get the pot cleaned up a bit. We'll get the trunk cleaned up a bit. We'll pick an apex and get this thing on its way to becoming, I don't know, an irregular upright bonsai is probably where it'll go. So yeah. So doing bonsai work with this messed up finger, you never realize how much you use one finger until you tear the front of it up and almost off, tossing a hard cider can to the recycle bin. Not my brightest moment. So I've got some all-natural dish soap here and some warm water, a little toothbrush, and we'll be able to clean up down here and the trunk line. I'd like to do the trunk line first because I don't know if this is fungi or whatever, but I'll do that secondly. So let's just clear this up a little bit on the stuff we definitely don't want. If you don't grow figs, they are very forgiving. They bud back, and before you know it, it's like, holy cow, didn't I just prune that? So this whole thing will be coming off. Boom, boom. I don't want to disrupt the other roots, so I'll repot in spring. My buddy Ian at Back Garden Bonsai was advising me on when and how to do my roots this time. And I was talking about fall, and he's like, that's not enough time for your roots to recover and give energy to the tree for the winter, essentially. So wait until spring. So I'm like, oh, that's cool, because I hate repotting and messing with roots. I wouldn't say I kill them all the time, but repotting is definitely where I lose a lot of my trees. So anyways, we'll repot then. So for now, if it's going down into the roots, I'm just going to leave it. It might actually turn into mulch, or at a minimum, at least in the spring, I'll be able to pull them all out without harming the rest of the tree. So this one I'm going to take off. There's an extra bud right here, so I'm just going to take it off in front of there. Looks like I'm going to have these two is what I'm going to keep. Where do I want to cut this one? There's a root that's higher up here. Take that out. when I got this thing, it was the nursery special. Like, they weren't even selling it. It was in the back where they let some of the damaged trees and ugly trees recover. But I know the guy, Bruce, who sets the whole nursery up. And so he always knows I'm looking for a bargain when I actually go in there to buy a tree. And this thing was just a little nub. And he's like, oh, something fell on it. It broke. But it has a good root system, so it'll recover. And I was like, okay, so what can you do for me on it? And I mean, basically gave it to me for free. Do we like this root? Do we not like this root? I think I like that root. This is the front. You know, it's kind of got that old woody where there's been some damage there. And then that root will come out, crawling out. I could always take that off in the future, but I'd say for now I'm going to leave that. Same with this one branch of leaves. I'm just going to leave it so that the tree can continue to gain energy, and it'll start kicking out new shoots from there, and then that's when I'll prune that older one off. So let's get this thing cleaned up. All right, y'all. So here we have it. This thing, there's that wire chair in the background. It looks like the fig. Okay. So right now, they're both branches are coming towards the same direction, but I believe I could get some nice growth off of here and kind of get some branching going out that way. And then once I get some back budding on this one, I'll just nip this off right there. So let's take a look at the trunk work we did. A little bit of perlite on there. So, yep, just some all natural dish soap, a tiny little bit, and some warm water. And you see that white residue just comes right off. And I think I do like that root. So I kept the age and patina on the upper part of the pot because I really think that's attractive. And I'll make sure I clean the drip tray from this before I put it back in, because that was some pretty nasty green stuff. But came off relatively quickly, like you saw with the toothbrush. So make sure, in my opinion, I would do the tree work first and then the pot work, so that, you know, if this interferes with your tree, the green stuff might interfere with your tree. You don't want that. All right, well on its way to becoming some sort of irregular upright. I'll probably do my best to keep the canopy within the shape of the pot, the size pot, and then we'll repot it up in spring. So, all right, y'all. So that's going to do it for today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. I hope you enjoyed yourself. That, you know, fig tree I think has a lot of potential. I love the fig leaves, and I love actually getting fruit on your bonsai. So I haven't had any fruit on that yet because I've been continuously pruning it, but I know that will be coming probably in spring. So if you enjoyed this video, there's much more to come from Jarhead Bonsai. Please hit that like and subscribe button. And I'm Jared Paul. Cheers. Have a great Sunday.
Who likes watermelon? Everybody likes watermelon. It's summer. There you go. One more little bite now. Bruce, no, the rine's for the chicken. Let go. Bruce, drop it.
Release.
Good boy. That last little bite. Use your little teeth. There you go.